Hello, everyone. How are you all tonight? I'm not sure if anybody's here yet. Hopefully, we have some people here watching. But not. That's fine too. Right now, we do have Metal with us, and as it says on mine thing, I'm going to be drawing up my character Prop Man, another one of my World War II superheroes. Actually, next week. I think should be the last week for my World War II superheroes, and then I'll go back to the top of my list for characters that I'm. Well, I have a list that I went through for the last couple years for my showcasing. So, but I'm not sure. I might focus on some other characters that are not them. I don't know yet.
What you
I
should
got a
have done to vary
couple.
it up is that you should have like took all your characters, put their names into a hat, and then just kept the same hat there until it was completely empty.
Yeah, that's an idea. Well, what I did was the way I varied it up was uh, I wrote down, Canadian Shield. Okay, the next issue, Canadian Shield goes against Toxico, so that's a new character. Let's write that down. And then Snowdrift comes out the same month, so we write Snowdrift down. And then the next, after that, then it's the next month for Canadian Shield, next month for Snowdrift. Characters that appear, heroes or villains or whatever. So I varied it up that way, and the last 7 characters that I've been doing are my quote unquote secret warriors, my World War II ones, because they are what they get introduced right at the end of the year and a half as I'm sure because they help. They're going to be involved in the storyline that forms the Holy Warriors, my main 7 characters, as a team. So I'm not sure whether I want to go back over and do the list the same way. Not because it's been like a year and a half, so I don't think anybody would really notice, except for the fact that I'm saying something right now about it. Or whether I want to verge off into characters that I have no idea about.
No, watch. There's like this one person, probably Evan, who's been keeping a list of every single character that you've done, is going to get on you when you repeat one.
Yeah. Because of Manny, I did add one into the list, and that was Wondrous. He thought Wondrous was going to go over so big, and well, not really. Wasn't the worst one, but you know, wasn't the best one either to get response.
Yeah, one of the problems is trying to figure out what other people would like, right? Because I have a bunch of characters. I think all my characters are cool. Otherwise, I wouldn't work on them. I'm sure you think the same. But there are
Yeah.
certain characters that you clearly think are cooler than others. I'm the same way. And I've noticed the characters I think are cooler tend to not be the same ones that like normal people think are cooler.
Yeah. You know, my Wondrous character, which was basically a Canadian version of Wonder Woman, she was done as I say joke, but I'm not even sure whether that was it. I was just doing something as like Canadianizing a few characters, Marvel DC characters just for the sake of it.
It sounds like you did it out of boredom.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of jokingly out of boredom, but not really a joke, and you know, was never planning on doing anything with it. And No, he thinks I should, and I may or may not eventually, but she'll be part of what I call my Canadian verse, which is just basically Marvel and DC characters Canadianized. Where you get the Canadian Iron Man from, or I think we decided the name he got was the Iron Mountie.
Yes, it's a much better name. I'm
Yeah,
still gonna call him the Copperleaf though. That's gonna be my
yeah.
personal nickname for him.
Sounds like Bullet with my characters, Lightning and Thunder and Lightning. He likes to call Lightning Lady Lightning or something like that. So, and my mom's here and says, "Good evening, everyone." She's probably not saying in that sort of tone, but
Now I like to imagine that when she's off camera, she likes to act cooler. Just in spite of you too. Like she intentionally does all the coolest stuff when the camera's not rolling.
my mom do something cool. I guess it depends on what you consider cool. But I'd say probably not. And there goes John and Quarter. They're
So,
steampunking superheroes.
what does Prop Man do?
Um, he is like I said, he operates during World War II. He is a master stage hand for like World War II. Well, in that era, but for the stage productions and all that. So he has like dry ice in his belt buckle or whatever. Here, and hopefully I
Oh,
have
okay.
it in
So
public.
when you use the word prop, you take it literally like theatrical props that you would use on stage.
Yeah, the idea actually sort of came out of originally when I was planning he would have some sort of 3D effect, like some holographic thing. He'd be almost like Mysterio, if you will, but a good guy. But then I put him back in the World War II era, so he's got a little less to work with. His cane there is going to be probably some similar to Daredevil's walking stick, blind walking stick, where it can extend and catch on to stuff, so he can swing around, sort of like Batman or Spider Man or Daredevil.
Oh, I hate the way Daredevil swings around because it makes no sense.
Yeah,
Like, of all things, it makes no sense. Like, how does he get that thing undone? I saw this one like comic picture on the web making fun of it, and it's taking him forever because you know how hard it is to differentiate a knot while you're blind of a ribbon where everything lies
yeah.
flat.
Well, it might not be quite that bad, where all the twirls or whatever that get into Daredevils. You know, they like to do those twirls on the page. You know, all this wraparound stuff, and like, I don't think that's logistically.
Yeah, that would not be desired at all.
What? Oh, metal. So yeah. Let's see. A little bit of his bio here. I hit the right button. His name is Samuel, and Ulrich's here. Hey, Ulrich. His name's Samuel Anders. He's 5'10", 170 pounds approximately. Prop man slash inventor, single, black hair, hazel eyes. First appears in The Wiz, number 14. Samuel was born into a showbiz family. Dad, mom, oh, I should probably say mom and dad. It sounds better. Mom and dad were theater actors. Often after school, Sam would be filmed backstage watching all the going ons. When he comes of age, he begins helping backstage with the props and stage magic people. Over time, his talents and skills set above area become unmatched. Upon high school graduation, he begins to traveling, seeking out and finding the best illusionists and people knowledgeable in theater magic. After years and years of study, he and perfecting his craft, he becomes one of the world's greatest theaters and movie magic professionals in his time. So I guess it's more than just, the theater. It's the theater part that I remember a lot for him. But during his long travels, hears the gospel via a traveling preacher and becomes a Christian. One night, while on his way home from work, he ends up walking by an alley where he hears a woman screaming. Thinking quick, he grabs a piece of dry ice from his shoulder bag and tosses it into a rain puddle in the alley, thus creating a wall of fog, which allows him to rescue the woman in the midst of the confusion created by the sudden fog. With this, and hearing about the rise in crime, he decides he could fight crime on the sly with all his theater and movie magic knowledge. At this, he puts together a costume like the recent superhero comics that have been coming out. Also, arsenal of tricks and gadgets to help in this fight. Seeing how he uses a lot of prop stuff, he dubs himself Prop Man. And powers and skills. I say Samuel is an expert in theater effect of the 1940s. He is an inventive genius for his work in the theater as a prop man. He has very little combat training, although he is trained with stage fighters to get better. So,
That's good clarification. Because at first I was thinking from the name that he was going to be like the Carrot Top of superheroes.
yeah, like very corny.
Yeah,
It's a
like
bit corny, but
he would get like all his powers from props, like by making jokes and stuff.
yeah. uh, he grabs dry ice with his bare hands. That's dangerous. Well, I don't have gloves on him, but gloves I actually probably should put on him because grabbing dry ice with bare
Oh,
hands
especially if
is,
he's just a normal human.
yeah, it's not a good idea. So, probably the night that he's out walking, he grabs it with he's already got gloved hands on, just
If
coming
he had
from,
just come from a show and he
oh,
just didn't bother taking them off.
yeah.
I also don't think what you set up would have the effect that it had, but it's a cheesy comic, so you can always go overboard.
Yeah, he's a cheesy character, so.
Yeah.
Well, I was just trying to think. Maybe it's more than one piece of dry ice. Maybe it's a handful. Depends on how far. Because I know I've seen that create a nice fog, but the question is, would it go up far enough or whatever, or just
Yeah.
create? Because at church they've had some of the science demonstrations and them showing the thing. It's just a question, would it go, like 6 feet in the air?
And how
To
fast
block
would it
the view.
spread,
Um, from what I've seen at the science demonstrations, it spread pretty fast.
Yeah, but okay, so when it spreads fast across the ground because the gas
Yeah,
is not very buoyant, right? So it's more buoyant than water, but less buoyant than, say, our atmosphere. So
yeah,
because it's heavy, it goes down to the ground and it just kind of
yeah,
like creates a fog on whatever surface it is. You could get a big rise out of it if there's enough so it could sit on itself, but I don't think you're going to get that out of a out of a puddle. Yeah.
yeah. That's sort of what I was meaning. Yeah, it would create a dense, probably a lot of fog on ground level, but going up high enough for it to do anything. Really? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. It's probably
But again, it's a comic that's supposed to like you're trying to emulate like golden age comics and stuff like that, which
yeah.
had that type of cheesiness all the time.
It's his first time out too, so
I think most heroes, when it's their first time out, should at most only have like a partial victory because it needs to be like a learning experience.
yeah. Well, it's not even. Well, it's his first time out. His first time. And this is just something quick on the fly too.
Yeah.
Well,
But
there
I think
would
that's
be a
why like
pop. Would there be a pop? Would there be a pop or something when the dry ice hits it? Some sort of noise. The water.
it depends how far away you are from it. Like there would be a plop from just, something being thrown into water, like any type of water sound, right? There is a slight noise to the chemical reaction. It's like a hiss.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't be able to hear it from a while away though.
Yeah. Well, it's probably just 5 feet into the alley or something like
Yeah.
that. The woman screams. Not just enough to get his attention, and then between him and them, there's the puddle that he sees. Let's see what else has Elric here. I heard Twitter might make their platform a payment system in the future. Well, that's pathetic.
Well, that would
I said,
be Twitter committing suicide.
yeah. Cross, just go by what I call the Shogun logic. Don't question it. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I get that about not questioning it, and I don't want to question stuff too much, but I do want some reality based in it. And yeah, these ones especially, these 7 characters are, that have been the last few weeks, the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks, are my World War II superheroes, and I want to try and achieve the corniness, the
Oh
cheesiness.
no, it becomes easy, right? You don't even have to reveal it at first. You could just like write it with this in mind. But you could later find out that he was actually born with a certain blessing, kind of like how like Samson has his blessing for strength, right?
Yeah,
And he has a blessing that he actually makes the things he does more theatrical, and he just doesn't notice this at first.
yeah. Oh, and he had said earlier, I got your link to the videos. We'll watch as soon as I can. I'm currently inking the manga. Okay. Hopefully you like it. There's 5 that you haven't seen on there yet. Last time I knew, unless you've seen some of them. I of course am. I haven't created any more since I created the last 4. Although I've just got one episode to record in season 4, and I'm up to date with the video portion of My Hero Academia. So he's a real. In a lot of ways, you might consider him a B or a CD lister version of Batman.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Definitely, if he's using any type of equipment, you'd automatically throw him in that category. If he's like really equipment based, item based.
Yeah. You know. So yeah, like a 1940s Batman, if you will. If anybody needs any sort of
Clarification.
yeah. And based on Elric's thing observation, I actually just gave him a glove, a fancy type glove there.
Oh, you know, it'd be great too. If like maybe you can't see it because the angle, but if on the back of his belt, specifically for the dry ice and stuff, he just had like a really big pair of like tongs, right? Like metal tongs that he actually could use in a jiffy.
Yeah.
Let's say like somebody has him pinned down too, and he just takes the tongs and clamps them right on their nose, and they freak out.
Yeah. Well, see, there's another thing you can do. Although the cane's not long enough, I'm going to make the cane longer.
Yeah.
Well, you can't see the picture of the cane here. Well, you can probably if you go to the website. My website, you would have seen him on there. Let's see. He says, I haven't seen them yet, but I will. Crunch mode. I inked from 12 p.m. to 1 a.m. yesterday. Been inking since 9 a.m. today. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. And well, I'll admit, Alric, most of these should be longer. I think the first one is a normal length, but with no longer having them on YouTube, they're the full length of the episode, or pretty much the full length of the episode. So I reduced the audio from the episode, have my audio normal, and it's a lot. It's a different feel. Well, Metal's seen a couple of them.
Well, I only watched the first one. I was going to
Okay.
get to watching the second one, but I ended up watching too much Gintama last night.
Yeah.
It's a long show. It's like 250 episodes or something. It ran from 2010 to 2019, so I've got like a lot to catch up.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
And I'm actually really upset that I only started watching it now because I'm personally writing a story about a group of freelancers who get into a bunch of shenanigans while taking on weird, odd jobs that nobody else will take. And Gintama is a show about a group of freelancers who get into weird shenanigans while taking a bunch of strange, odd jobs.
Yeah.
No influence on it whatsoever because I didn't know this show even existed when I started watching it. But you'd think like, man, the humor and stuff too. This is the type of show that's completely up my alley, and it's a shame that it took me a decade to start watching it.
For my stuff, have you watched anything? Were any of the episodes you watched yet, like longer than say about approximately 10 minutes? Were they like 20 minutes, or were they just?
I'm trying to. I watched the first of the last set that you put up, and I'm caught up to before that.
Okay, so if you've watched the one of the four, then yeah, that's like 20 some odd minutes. So
yeah, you had asked me, and I said I thought it was better. You felt like you had more freedom.
yeah, I was just so you could tell your little bit of experience about the new format to maybe Elric. You like the new format, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yes,
good.
I did.
In fact, this or the prop man, I'm using a Batman pose right here. Ulrich says, Metal, I've heard of Gintama, but read or watched it. I heard it's funny, but can you tell me
It,
what it's about? Never read. I typed it
I
fast.
basically did just tell you what it was about. It's pronounced Gin Tama, just so you know.
Okay.
Uh, I know sometimes when you see a G and an I next to each other, you have the instinct of saying like J, like giant. But because the way that things work in Japanese, if you see like a G there and there's not like an H after it, it's always going to make the G sound. We'll put a J if it's supposed to make the J sound. And Gintama means silver soul. The Gin means silver, like his hair. Tama means soul. And the show is about a samurai who exists in Edo. They're still referring to Tokyo as Edo. And what happened was many moons ago, the Amanto, which are just this is an alien empire, right? So it's a various different aliens. They come down. I think all aliens are referred to as Amanto, and they took over Earth, and they like Edo. They made Edo basically like the capital, and now they made a sword ban. Being a samurai is basically kind of illegal. So this guy, who the only trade he knows is being a samurai, becomes an odd jobsman, or a group of freelancers, and he ends up getting a disciple whose father died, and he wants to become a samurai himself. And he ends up also getting stuck with this girl who is an alien, but with super strength, named Kagura, and she's kind of like childish. And the three of them run around doing things in this wacky, spliced version of Japan that's both futuristic and rustic at the same time. Due to like the technology the aliens brought with them, but also the time period in which they took over. And it's very funny. Like they break the fourth wall all the time, but in actual good ways. It doesn't seem like annoying. Like the main character sometimes gets upset if it takes too long into the episode for him to actually show up. He's like, "What's the deal? It's 10 minutes into the episode and you're only just now getting to me. I'm the main character." There's a bunch of goofy characters in there too. They even make fun of like the show. It's like there is this opening bit like most shows have, where they're trying to catch you up and like this is what the show's about in case it's your first time watching. And after like 5 episodes, they tell the disciple character to stop doing the opening bit in the middle of the opening bit because they're getting bored with it already. It's like there's no point. The show's so confusing that nobody's going to get it even if you explain it. So they changed the opening bit to just give you a recap of what happened last episode.
Howard says, okay, I can get into that. So it kind of sounds like 1860s, the 1860s of Japan.
Yeah, sort of, right? Like it's far enough along that guns exist, right? So, in the 1800s, that would definitely be a thing. Maybe even a little bit later, right? But because automobiles exist independently of the aliens, but when aliens brought their technology, so maybe like 1920s Japan. And when the aliens brought their technology, everything started booming up. So now these like somewhat old-looking automobiles can also fly. It's a pretty good show. I've only seen like one season worth of it, but I highly recommend it to anybody. I'm going to watch it all the way through.
Well, it sounds like something I'll be watching eventually. As soon as I can.
One of the biggest things too is because it's kind of a comedy. Shonen Jump, like Jump Weekly, actually exists in the world. So apparently, aliens taking over didn't stop the invention of Jump magazine, and the main character is kind of like obsessed with Jump. He has to get it every time it comes out. He even makes fun of himself, saying, "You'd think at my age I would have aged out of reading Jump." And he's like, he likes Bleach. So apparently, like, Bleach is still being written, which means it takes place in modern day, just in an alternate modern day where things never went the way that they went here. And they do have skyscrapers and everything. It's wacky. Like, it's really, well, no, it's not in the 1920s, Elric. It is definitely a modern day. It's just if, like, it's really hard to explain the world.
It's like if aliens had made it and took over in the 1920s and are still here.
Yeah.
And we didn't fight back and rebel before then.
Well, they tried. They just didn't do a very good job.
Yeah.
The government caved like immediately, especially because they kind of wanted the new technology and stuff, and they thought it would just be in their best interest. But there was like groups of samurai who never gave up until like very recently in the story. And that's actually where the main character came from. He was one of like the last waves of the rebellion.
Wow.
But now there's even like,
you never age out of Jump.
I agree, but that's one of the jokes in the show. Like, you could tell that this story was written for an older audience that gets it, especially because he keeps making fun of it. It's like, oh, our show is confusing enough for kids without this stuff going on. And you could, I would guess, because I haven't read the manga, that a lot of the TV show related bits were rewrites of things that were like manga related, but they wanted to make it match the fact that it's an animated show now. Adapted to fit the medium it's in.
Yeah. Ark says, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like, it's hard to explain it perfectly. And I think even the series understands it because they made that joke that our series is hard enough to understand even if we explain it.
Howard says, you got me interested. You got me interested too.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, as I'm watching it too, it's like, this is totally the type of story I would write. Because in many ways, it's very similar to a type of story that I'm writing, even the type of humor and stuff that's there. It's almost like me and the creator are on a very similar wavelength.
He says, it sounds a little stranger than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh, it's much stranger than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But, like, in the best way. I would have to say that Gintama is probably a top-tier anime. It's probably going to be one of my favorite by the time I'm done with it.
And which episode are you on of the 200?
I'm on episode 15 right now. But that's of the list. It's probably actually more like episode 13 or 14, or episode 12 maybe, because there were a couple ones that were double uploaded for some reason.
Okay.
But I've seen like a season's worth. And it's great because these guys are like really poor and will basically do any job for money, unless the government comes to them. Because Gintoki, who's the main character, and the show is kind of named after, it doesn't really like cops or the government. So even if it's a big paycheck, he'll kind of turn it down until they like show the briefcase full of money, and then his tune changes immediately.
It's like, I ain't doing this till you show me the money.
Yeah. He's like, no, my pride is too much. I will not work for the government. I am not. I don't wear the jackboots. And then they's like, oh, well, did I mention you will be handsomely compensated? And then they open up the briefcase and it's just filled with bills. And the other one just turns around. It's like, oh, so what did you need me to do again?
Or it's just laugh out loud.
And they play kind of fast and loose, but also a bit consistently with the physics. So like the main character walks up to an embassy, and he just like kicks the metal gate in, but when he kicks it, it goes flying like over the roof of the building. And that it just seems like very cartoonish, but when you look at it, it's like they're very consistent with how this character works and what he can and can't do at the same time.
Well, I would say half now, half when I complete the mission. I think they show him the money to convince him actually to do the job.
Well, it's the government, right? So everybody else they force to pay up front, but with the government, it's like once you sign a contract, they're kind of obligated to pay you if you finish it.
Yeah.
And like one of the main character's biggest weaknesses is that he's like on the verge of having diabetes. Because he eats too much sweets, but he's also to the point that because he's on the verge, he sits in a state of like perpetual low blood sugar, and he has to have like one sweet thing every day, or else he can't fight.
Yeah. That should make for interesting battles. In the middle of a battle, he's like, I need a chocolate bar now to fight, or something like that.
Yeah, there was like a time that before they actually went out to go save one of the side character's sisters, he actually just sat there and started baking a cake in the dude's house, and then ate the whole cake before they went.
That's crazy. Alric's laugh out loud. Oh, Alric, I'm not sure whether you watched any of last night's thing. You might want to catch last night. We had a good talk with the writer of Ava.
Was Elric not there?
Come on. No, he wasn't in the chat last night.
Oh, I guess I was so busy talking I didn't even notice.
Unless he just didn't say anything. Hence why I said I'm not sure.
I know we drove Timothy away because Dillard insulted him.
Actually, I don't think Timothy figured it as an insult to him.
Yeah, I know. He was probably just joking, but
yeah,
it was funny because Dillard was like, "Oh, what's up, Rick? You actually have something good on for once. Normally, you only show crap." And Tim's like, "Ouch, super ouch."
Yeah, and I think that was more directed at me for the ouch. So I'm not sure whether he got it. That could apply to him too, you know.
Yeah, it
having
could.
that M on. I said I did not watch last night. I was inking. Well, you can listen to later, of course.
I
This is an
too was
hour.
inking last night.
But,
I was just on the show.
yeah, talking a little bit.
Oh, I didn't get much inking done, but that's because I was jumping around web pages, checking out the Indiegogo and stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, last night did actually pretty good. It's up to like 52 views.
Oh, that is good.
And actually, today I went and all my After Darks for the last 2 months, I went and gave them all a thumbnail.
Oh, good. I know you were working on that template.
Yeah. Well, for the ones that are just digital inking and chilling, I just put Cross Comics After Dark. Ones with, talking with somebody. I put the talking with one on and, picture of the cover of their magazine, their comic. And then my showcase ones, I did one especially for them, as you can probably see some basically what was the thumbnail for tonight, with the name of the character for showcase. And oh, Alric, just a warning, probably Friday, unless something drastic happens, I will be returning your money for the Canadian Shield campaign, and either that day after returning all the money, I'll be sending out a message, a link to get it off my website, or I will be doing. Well, I'm probably going to do a thing no matter what Saturday, and try and drum up some support. So, just an advance warning. Then I might be sending something out Friday night. So, and I'll probably announce it on here Friday night, because I'll probably 8 o'clock. I'll probably take like the 2 hours before the show to give everybody back their money. He didn't hear a word of what I just said. He was doing something.
Well,
Because
maybe
I'm back, I was doing something real quick.
Well, there's a live delay. He might have heard the very, very end of what you said.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that much of a delay at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, to go over that again, Alric, because I didn't know you were away. I was saying Friday, probably 8 o'clock my time. I'm going to end up probably, unless something drastic happens, I'm going to be giving back the money for the Canadian Shield campaign. And then I'll probably email everybody in it and let them know that they can get it off my website. And I'll send the link in that email just so you think. And I'll probably announce it Friday night on here, obviously. And I'll probably do a show Saturday trying to drum up some support, letting people know.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
It's like the 31st. I've given them I said the end of July, and if they haven't been in contact with me, but by Friday, if they ignore me till Friday, then it's telling me they don't want my business. You know, especially when all I need, I believe all I believe I need at this point is a phone number to go down to my bank with, to call them, to try and get all this banking info resolved. Fairly simple thing to do, but they refuse to give me a phone number. So. And they refuse to tell me why they refuse to give me a phone number.
Maybe they have social anxiety and don't like talking to people over the phone. If that were the case, though, I'd have more questions about like, how did you get hired at this place in the first place?
Yeah, you know what? The thing is, it doesn't necessarily have to be the guy that that I have on that I've been emailing back and forth. Obviously,
Yeah.
whoever picks up the darn phone. Gotta get this right. Okay, so.
While it's on my mind too, I should probably mention that we're changing the time of the vomitorium.
Okay.
It's still going to be the same slot, like Wednesday and Saturday. We're just going to be doing it at 6 Central. So that would start at 7 your time.
I just gotta remember to.
Yeah, well, I told you, but I said it like after we were already off air, so I didn't really announce it to anyone else. And if it works out, Rick, you can actually be on sometime.
Yeah. Maybe I'll come on Saturday.
Saturday would probably be the best because you wouldn't have to set up your show like literally as we're closing. Since it'll be back to back on Wednesday. That's going to be like, obviously I'm late by like 5 minutes all the time anyway. It was early today.
Yeah.
So it won't be too big of a deal, but I'm going to literally have to like close out my stream, tell everybody else that I need to go, and then hop onto yours on Wednesdays.
Hey, the great thing is too, on Wednesdays though, you could say, hey, I'm hopping over onto this other show here.
Oh yeah, I've got a good excuse.
Yeah, but you tell them, that way maybe they'll come over here and subscribe.
Yeah, I can do that. I could. I usually have like a schedule spot too, like in the bottom corner on the screen, so I can put like where I'm going to be afterwards. I need to start including my co-host schedule at the bottom because he likes to stream immediately afterwards. He does gaming stuff. Then people have options like, hey, if you want to keep listening to a talk show, I'm going to be over on a place where you're drawing, but it ends up being more of a talk show than anything.
Yeah. Well, we talk while other possible people draw too. So.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people just put this on to have us speaking in the background
Yeah.
while they work on stuff. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah. But you know, if that's not what they're into, if they want to go watch gaming instead, there's another option.
Yeah.
They have 2 avenues of where they can go afterwards.
Yeah. So next week it looks like I'm going to be working on a nice little thing on Indiegogo.
Yeah, and like an expose.
Yeah. Two buttons. Reel in. Eagle's here and he puts the watching eyes.
Well, that's how Eagle lets you know that he's here.
Yeah. Let you
That's
know.
almost always the first thing that he posts in a chat. Either that or he'll do like the rolling eyes, because the first thing he'll do is react to something someone else said.
And Alric saying hello to Eagle. A big ruler on here. Gonna put some background stuff in here. Oh, there it is, right there. Too blind to see it. Well, I guess not too blind since I did see it. So how are you today, Eagle?
What kind of background thing are you going to put in there?
I was just thinking buildings.
I guess you can never go wrong with buildings in the background for anything cape related.
Yeah, especially while he's, swinging. I don't know what he's swinging off of when he's so high in the sky, but I'm not going to be too precise with how I'm doing things either.
I just know I hate drawing buildings.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say that. I like drawing old-fashioned buildings. You put me in like a medieval town or something, I'll draw that no problem. Wooden castles, whatever. I hate modern buildings. There's too many windows. That's the problem. Basically have to make like some type of grid That's in perfect
Yeah.
perspective of whatever you're doing. And you know you're going to get something off. There's just too many lines there.
Yeah.
Elric says, while Inky's been watching some of his favorite movies like The Iron Giant.
Cool. Cool. Good movie.
And Elric drew a brick building, and inking it was pretty hard, but worth it. Actually, so in the town where my manga starts, all the buildings intentionally look horrible. And the payoff to that doesn't happen until later if I do continue this series. But the one of the side characters' mother is like the what was the word? The Vicar, or the Vicar of construction and labor. And she's horrible at designing stuff, and she basically designed the whole town. So like when the character finally goes to like other cities on different worlds and different realms and stuff, she's going to be just like impressed by every single building she ever sees, because she lived in like the most dull and boring town in existence, and it's the only place she had ever been prior to this adventure.
Cool. Cool. I don't know how much I want to do buildings in the background. It's probably just going to do as much as I got here. Gives it slightly background feel. I could probably put in more digitally. Although I got a Elric says very nice. So, although I got another hour to fill here, although I can go digital coloring something.
And when I mean these buildings are lame, I mean they're basically all just rectangular prisms with triangular prisms on top of them, with like windows and doors cut through. Another reason for this too is that like their society, all the women outnumber the men 1,000 to 1, so the women do everything. And it was supposed to be like a joke, because you think, oh well, women are design savvy. It's like maybe, but maybe they're design savvy because men do all the hard work, so they were able to specialize to design. And in a society where women do everything, they never were able to specialize towards design.
So what do you think?
Why is he like so much higher than the tallest buildings around him? What's he swinging from?
I said I don't know what he's swinging from.
I know, but it's just like, I don't know, man. It's really hard to get past that part. You should have just made
Maybe
the
it's a
building
taller
taller.
building that you don't see.
Maybe, I guess. Just one that dwarfs all the buildings around him.
Yeah.
Maybe he's swinging from a helicopter.
Yeah. I don't know.
Elric's only been inking with 2 different pens, and they haven't ran out of ink yet.
Well,
Which
that's
is
good.
the .05 and the 01, which are honestly my favorite pens to use anyway. And I try not to ink with them as much as possible so they last longer, because I use both of those for hatching and stuff.
So thanks to Elric, he now wears gloves.
Thermo-resistant gloves.
Pardon it?
Thermo-resistant gloves.
Yeah. And it's a great spot for him to be in for work too. Because he can order all this prop stuff, and nobody'd know.
Well, I mean, I think the theater is going to start getting curious why their budget has suddenly tripled in the last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bothering.
Make it so magnifique.
It's like those old school Spider-Man games, is what Elric says. And just grab onto imaginary buildings so high that it's not even visible. It's like when you're on top of the Empire State Building, what are you swinging from?
Yeah. Well, it's like the old Spider-Man cartoon, from the 70s.
He's in the middle of Central Park and just swings out of there.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you swinging from? The nearest building is like maybe 700 feet away from you, and that's at the ground level. Going at a diagonal, it's going to be even farther away.
Yeah, and then it's not like you can swing that high even unless you zip up and zip that far over first.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: it seems to be a point of laziness too, because Spider-Man is so strong and fast, has such good leg muscles that he could just do a running jump and probably be 50 feet in the air off of a running jump because Spider-Man's strong, and also be basically out of the park by the time he starts.
John.
What up, Big Papa Rick?
Not a whole heck of a lot. Yourself, John?
Why not? What's going on? Why is the thing going on?
I finished Prop Man, although I'd probably do more details, but I probably save any details for
Prop Man. Is that like Carrot Top?
That's what I was thinking, but no, it's not.
What does Prop Man do?
He's like my Batman for the 1940s.
Okay, hold on. Before I ask any more questions, in the timeline of when books are coming out, when does Prop Man make an appearance?
He's supposed to make an appearance. His first appearance is supposed to be The Wiz number 14.
Okay, I don't care then.
Ulrich says, very nice drawing, Metal. Okay, why don't you care?
Background image.
Now, the question for his very nice drawing, is that to Dillard? Dillard's showing part of the buckler there. Either that
Don't be giving away no secrets.
Hey, I'm showing off your screen.
I think he's talking about my manga version of myself that's just sitting there as a filler image.
Oh, I got a manga version of myself. It's my logo.
Yeah. I tried to ink it and color it like a Tito Kubo cover for Bleach.
Whatever that means, loser. Hey, what up, Elric? Oh, man. What a day.
Yeah, what happened?
I think a family of skunks moved in under this little house.
Ooh. Not good.
So I'm going to be shooting random 357 Magnums underneath the house here in a little bit.
You think that's the most effective way to get rid of them?
It's the only way that I know how.
I think that's a very way to become stinky.
Well, this place already stinks. I might as well have the dead skunks to go with it, right?
No, I meant you. Forget the place.
Then, or the only other thing I could think of would be I don't know, shoot fire under there. But then what if I burn my little house up?
Oh, well, there is a third option. Have you tried a hose?
A hose?
Yeah, have you tried using water to flush?
We ain't got no hose in this area.
How do you not have a hose? What is wrong with California?
That's why it's always on fire.
Either that, or you wait for them to come up and then board up the area so they can't get back under.
Well, how's he going to make sure it's all of them? They could have a whole colony down there.
Oh my God, a colony.
A colony of skunks invading your property. They're colonizing it. Imperial
Rick,
skunks.
what am I going to do, Rick?
They're colonizers. Ulrich says, now, is the manga version of you crushing that Hershey Cola or drinking it?
That looks like a Pepsi.
That's a Pepsi.
What a
It's
loser.
got the Pepsi logo on it.
What kind of a loser drinks Pepsi?
Dude, Pepsi's the best. What are you talking about?
Pepsi ain't got no
Coke
flavor.
rolls, Pepsi Drools.
Pepsi is the best.
Pepsi, that's the official drink of homosexuals.
Well, it actually was the official drink of communism, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It was a long time ago, though. You know, Pepsi was the 6th largest naval superpower in the world at one point.
You know what they say about old habits.
They make good drinks.
What do they make? Because I know Coke makes Dr. Pepper, which is fantastic.
Well, Coke doesn't actually make Dr. Pepper.
and
It's
they
a
also
separate
make
company, but they bought it.
Sprite, which is fantastic.
Oh, I hate Sprite.
So good.
Actually, I believe Pepsi makes Dr. Pepper.
No, Dr. Pepper is its own company here in Texas, but they don't have the best distribution. So depending on where you are, they are aided in distribution by either Coke or Pepsi.
Lame.
Up here, it's definitely Pepsi.
Yeah, and in many places, it's Coke. Like, I'm pretty sure Coke does the Dr. Pepper distribution along the entire West Coast.
Because, before you told me that, I would have said Coke, Dr. Pepper was Pepsi because it's always put out with the Pepsi products.
Yeah, Pepsi also makes Mountain Dew.
Ew.
Yeah, that too.
Isn't that drink that gives you the runs?
I've never gotten the runs from it.
I think there was a big old expose like 10 years back when they found out that
it has weak colons like that. But
I heard that they put oil in Mountain Dew.
don't believe that's actually true.
Let me look it up here.
Or it says here in California, it's Coca-Cola. I guess that does the
Well,
Dr.
that's what I
Pepper
said, the
thing.
entire West Coast.
Yeah, they use brominated vegetable oil.
Oh, vegetable oil. I thought you were talking about like petroleum.
Why would they put that in there?
I don't know. You were trying to make it seem like this was the devil's liquor.
It is the devil. You know, if you've seen any gamers, you see what Mountain Dew does to them.
It wires them up, I think. Pepsi also makes A&W root beer.
Or it says, I like the mint Mountain Dew Baja Blast. I'm not a big fan of it.
It's Baja Blast, Rick.
You know,
I like the Blue Dew.
Voltage.
They also make that.
Yeah, I
is
think
that the
that's
one
what it
that's
is.
only available at Taco Bell?
Baja is only available at Taco Bell, yeah.
Actually, here in Canada, it's become available other places.
Well, during the summertime, they
places.
usually put in gas stations in bottles here in the States. I don't know if they've permanently done that up in Canada, though.
Yeah. But yeah, it was only available at Taco Bell for the longest time up here, too.
They're the same people that made Code Red as well. God, this
Yeah.
company. So I'm right in the middle of.
Coca-Cola, which you use for cleaning your toilets.
Why don't you use toilet cleaner?
Because it's not as acidic as Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola actually makes the toilet cleaner. It's
But
basically
it works better and it smells better too.
It's not as strong as Coke. I've gotten
believe-
stains off that you couldn't get with toilet cleaner.
I don't believe that. I think they busted that myth on TV on a show.
I don't think they have.
Yeah, apparently Mountain Dew contains flame retardant. according to ABC News. Now, who knows how reputable they are?
Oh, ABC is not reputable at all.
Well, my mom says here in Ontario, Pepsi makes it. Well, the question in Mom, if you go with what Metal said, it's
Well,
not
they distribute it.
Pepsi might not make it, but they do distribute it. It's hard to say. We'd have to look into it for here in Canada whether Pepsi actually makes it or not.
You don't gotta look. Just Google it.
Dr. Pepper.
But wouldn't Googling it be looking into it by definition?
Yeah.
I've actually been to both the headquarters and the original factory for Dr. Pepper.
My condolences.
Because they're down here
And
in Texas.
We got Art of Reed here, and he says, "Hey, girls." I think he's talking to you and Dillard, Metal.
Oh, because we're arguing over something as stupid as soda?
Yeah.
Well, I know that Coca-Cola doesn't have the global reach of poutine, but I would say it's important to some people.
Coca-Cola is probably one of the wealthiest
That's
companies.
the joke, Metal. God damn it. We're talking about big, important things here. The biggest, greatest soft drink company of all time. Of which I'm consuming currently.
Oh, you have a Coke?
I certainly do.
Actually,
I usually only get Coke when it's on cheap.
When it's on cheap,
Yeah.
you can get me a Royal
Like
Crown.
99 cents a bottle.
look at this titan of industry over here drinking Royal Crown Cola.
Actually, Fago lately.
Oh,
Royal Crown is not around here anymore.
what about RC Cola? Oh, that is Royal Crown, right?
That is Royal Crown, yeah. Now that is actually
What
made
about-
by Dr. Pepper.
What about Shasta Cola?
I
No.
think I've actually written that.
The other one that, well, actually, Royal Crown made it was called Cott, and they're not even around here anymore.
Well, the reason you probably don't get it, right? The Royal Crown is because Pepsi distributes Dr. Pepper, and Dr. Pepper owns RC. So why would Pepsi put something that is directly the same flavor competitors themselves?
Yeah. Well, we had Royal Crown for I don't know how long around here.
Fascinating, Rick.
But
Why do
And
they
it
call
was a
them soft
cheaper
drinks when
bottle.
they burn so much?
Why do they what?
Call them soft drinks when they burn so much?
Well, Pepsi doesn't burn because Pepsi has very little like acidity. It has no kick to it.
Oh,
got
they
no-
said they're
It's got
burning.
no taste. Now Coca-Cola, that'll kick you in the throat like a mule. I love it.
Diet Coke will.
Oh, Diet Coke especially.
Yeah, I've actually never had a burn from a normal Coke, but Diet Coke, oof.
yeah, I never had a burn from Coca-Cola.
But they're called soft drinks because they're not hard. Anything that's not alcoholic is a soft drink, so that just became the name for sodas.
Or pop,
Yeah.
depending where you are.
But you add alcohol to something and suddenly it is a hard drink.
Hard to say.
So, okay, so what is it you're doing on your show now that you seem to be finished with your drawing?
I'm just coloring the one of the versions of the Canadian Shield that I made when I was doing drawing and quarter for the Canadian Shield. Just something to do. I'm not sure what I'll do after I'm done these guys. This is the last of them.
What's the
Then I
news on
made up
your
sure
What's the
that,
news on your money?
Well, the bank never got back to me about any information today. And The idiots at Indiegogo never got back to me at all, which isn't surprising. So I'm thinking Friday, if they don't get back to me by end of day Friday, returning everybody's money. Later, Dave. And giving a link out. Well, obviously, sending an email out with the link and obviously saying about it Friday on the show here. And then I'll probably do a show Saturday, especially for it.
So let me ask you
Trying to
another
get some people
question.
back.
At any point during this entire debacle, have you gone to the bank physically and tried to straighten this out?
Yeah, for my first bank I have, but I don't know enough of how this stupid ACH thing works. I don't know how it's stupid enough, this stupid system that, what's the name of it, got to work. And I'm trying to get a number right now off Indiegogo so I can go down to the bank with that number and call them up and resolve it. But since last Thursday when I asked for a number, they've shut up. They haven't said a damn word to me. Indiegogo, that is.
Oh,
No,
wait,
they
you were
won't give
asking
me-
Indiegogo for their telephone number? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. I've asked them several times, but this one is like, was straight out. It was like, give me your damn number so I can go down to the bank and call you and get this mess resolved. And I haven't heard a peep out of them since then. Now, let me show. Give me a sec. Here.
RC probably got dropped because of the whiskey.
No, that would make no sense, Mom. We had RC in this area for long before,
Yeah, but
as
they-
long as we had Royal Crown whiskey and thing. Oh, let's see. Let me go. My mom's messing me up. Talking on a completely different subject than what's going on.
You mean there's a Royal Crown? You're not talking about Crown Royale. You're talking about another whiskey called Royal Crown?
Might be
Yeah, I
Crown
thought you were talking
Royale.
about Crown Royale.
I'm not sure. It might be Royal Crown or it might be Crown Royale up here. A whiskey.
I mean,
called
because we
that.
have both around here, Crown Royale and the soda. No, like, copyright or trademark problem there.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't think it would be because, the two of them are existing in the same place. I think people can distinctly tell the difference between pop and booze.
Now, I got a question for Elric Hayuga. Now, I was talking with my good buddy, Evan Hotep, about this a little while ago. I read an article about a year ago. I was right in the middle of coming up with the final concept for the buckler, and I was doing some research, right? Okay, so homoerotica. What are your feelings about homoerotica and how it's portrayed in regular comics and also in manga? That's a question for everybody.
Oh, well, you specifically said Elric, so.
Well, specifically when it comes to manga, I'm asking Elric. I don't really care how much like the library of knowledge somebody has on it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about somebody who's in just the personal opinion as an actual
Yeah,
fan.
this is like an op-ed type thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nora
It's never
says,
bothered
you
me.
mean Yahoo? I'm not sure.
Oh my god, that's
Yowie.
nowhere near close to what it was.
Is he talking about Yowie? Let me look at. Yeah,
Yes,
it's
that's
Yowie.
exactly
Yeah.
what he's talking about.
And he says he don't read that.
No, I know that you don't read it, but I'm asking. I'm sure that you've come in contact, you've seen it advertised. You know, what I mean, when they do it, when you see the images of the yaoi, and also when you see images of very effeminate or very hyper romantic, sexy men in Western art. How do you feel about it? How does it make you feel? And how does it make you feel when it's something or some character that you like or you're familiar with?
Okay, so see, those are two different questions, right?
Well, I want two different answers.
Yeah. Because in the field of manga, that doesn't really apply because for the most part, unless it's a doujin, which is like a fan-made thing. I'm going to explain it.
What your opinion is. Not
Yeah. But that's why you get two
explanation of it.
different questions. There are two different answers here, right? For the
See
most
what I
part,
gotta
you
do,
don't.
Rick?
It's a complicated question. It gets a complicated answer. And
the question was, how do you feel when you see it?
Well, because I have two different feelings.
We're not here to discuss your feelings. No.
It doesn't. Well, he literally here to discuss my feelings. He asked me how I felt.
Yeah, I know. Jesus,
Yeah.
of course.
When it comes to manga, it doesn't bother me because they're not established characters, right? Like this is the way those characters always are.
Uh-huh.
But it does bother me when you take established characters and do that. Like if you were to take Spider-Man and make him homoerotic for no reason.
All right, now let me ask you another thing. Okay, before you move on, Spider-Man is known for being very acrobatic.
Yeah.
Right. His movements are not that of a normal. Like think of like a Clint Eastwood character, like a stiff old man. Think of like Michael Keaton as Batman. Doesn't really turn his head unless he turns his whole torso, right?
Yeah, he's more like the Chinese Olympic acrobatic team and stuff like that.
Right. So Spider-Man's very, very, flamboyant with his movements. Like if at any point, and when you're reading this Spider-Man comic, they kind of freeze frame, and he's in an awkward position where his back is down, his butt is up, he's looking back, he's startled, something that looks a little bit off. It throws you, right?
Yeah.
And it never bothered me.
Never bothered me either.
So
And Marsupio said
so
the
both
chat,
of you
hey,
enjoy the
Marsupio.
homoerotica then.
Well, and I never saw this
No.
homoerotic.
Well, I just described a very homoerotic pose, Rick.
Maybe you're the one who has problems here.
I do got problems.
Because you're
That's
saying-
why I want these answers. I got
You're the
problems.
one who sees this as homoerotic. Maybe you're attracted to the pose.
Maybe waka waka. All right, so there is a line apparently that people are willing to suspend their disbelief when it comes to these characters, these superhero characters that are wearing skin tight outfits, the women and the men.
Yeah.
And what this person was putting forward was that outfit, the male wearing the skin tight clothing, because the male being like as jacked as the Buckler, right? There's nothing sexual about being this jacked. People don't find like on the whole, on average, people don't find bodybuilders attractive.
No, they don't.
No.
So
women prefer like that Michael Phelps body style when it comes to muscle. Yeah.
Right. So, and men are portrayed as outrageous. They look like bodybuilders that are they're not even posing. They're just at rest, looking like they're posing. So it's not a sexual thing per se. However, apparently, and because this guy was doing studies and stuff, apparently there's a line that you can take it to because people want to see this. They want to see the skin tight clothes, like the clothing draped so hard and fast over the pectorals that you see outlines of nipples and veins. You know what I mean?
As if it wasn't even there.
Right.
Yeah.
As if somebody caught an errant knife, slashed the clothes, it might just explode off the body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And expose some junk flopping out. And apparently that tantalization of seeing the men wearing this stuff and the women wearing this stuff is what draws young male readers. And apparently you can do that, but there's a line that you cannot cross, which is like a razor's edge type deal. Whereas if you make the person one too many, like it's almost like there's like this I don't know what you call it, like a bell curve or something.
Yeah.
Or not a bell curve, but maybe we call it like a balance, right? Like a balancing bar. That if you put one too many homoerotic attributes on one side and it begins to tip, it completely loses itself, all its power that it has. And it becomes just straight, it becomes unnerving and uncomfortable to look at.
Like an uncanny valley type thing?
No, more along the lines of like as if I were to show you this picture of the buckler, but he had some really chewy looking nipples.
Chewy?
Chewy, yeah.
Oh my god. This is stuff I don't
Hey,
see.
Marsupio, and hello, Todd. I
Hey,
always
guys.
said manga is usually done by one or two people. So 99% of the time, there's no altering the characters for just because. And then he says like Power Rangers, like Poporoi Prisoner. So
Oh, no, that's
Haku
just
then.
puri
Puri,
puri,
puri.
which means pretty.
Yeah, Puri Puri. Yes, Puri. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Puri Puri Prisoner. Now, if Puri Puri Prisoner didn't have those lips, it might be like, oh, maybe he's kind of like a character I can, you know,
Well, until you start seeing what he does.
right? Would say he's like a super tough guy, super cool tough guy, right? Like, oh my goodness, but he just shows up right off the bat with those big eyelashes and those lips, you know.
Well, I think the eyelashes are what does it more than the lips. Because I've seen a lot of characters that have the exaggerated lips, but like the rest of their features are rough.
I don't know. Those lips, pretty thick.
Yeah. But like the eyelashes are what feminizes that entire face.
He's talking about One Punch Man, Rick,
Yeah.
the cartoon.
Which he hasn't gotten to yet. I keep recommending it. He's going to hit it after he's done with My Hero.
Yeah, or after I get. Well, I'm done. Well, I'm caught up with My Hero. It's getting it up, everything. Well, I've got one episode to watch. Actually, getting everything converted or edited up, and then probably getting everything else I've got converted and up.
What do you mean converted? What are you talking about?
Well, I need a specific type of file to put it up on my website so people can view it, no matter the browser.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. See, okay, here's the problem with Elric, right? You're actually naming characters that are literally homoerotic and not characters that come off as homoerotic.
Yeah, somebody
Like-
that straddles the line.
Yeah. Like Hisoka literally wants to diddle one of the main characters.
All right, take it easy, Metal. What are you doing over there?
But
Who? Puri, puri,
yeah,
puri.
so John, or here's my thing from Indiegogo last week, 5 days. Jason saying they reached out to the bank, but they wouldn't discuss specifics because of privacy rights. And they said a substantial option of three-way call with Indiegogo, myself, and Thing was presented but denied for the same reason. To authenticate the caller. So I reached out to the bank, and basically I think I got the fact that I could go down there and call Indiegogo and do stuff, get things hopefully settled, depending on, what Indiegogo says. So, then I reached back out to them 5 days ago. Reached back out to Indiegogo and saying, you don't need to tell them the specifics of my account, just, branch number, financial institution, about the delivery process, and basically find out what needs to be done to make sure this goes through. Again, and then I'm asking for the number. Damn. Okay, listen closely. I need a damn number to call. And with damn number to call all in caps. And then I misworded here. so I can't go into the bank. When I meant so I can go into the bank. But I correct that the next day, and they haven't gotten back in touch with me since then.
This is a fascinating story. So what are you drawing? I see Booster. Can you hear me?
Oh, you mean me?
Yeah.
Though this is something I drew on Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition when they were doing the Canadian Shield. Back when I
Awesome.
was doing my campaign, and I created like the Canadian Shield 2099, and I put Booster on the, like hover leaf.
Speaking of Drawn and Quartered, I know that Florida Man is going to be on Drawn and Quartered this Thursday.
Mhm.
How is the lineup looking? Is there any empty seats?
Yes.
There's always empty seats. What are you talking about?
I think I want to get on that. I'm gonna hit up Pixel. I'm gonna go do that right now. Matter.
John, so you're inking this, so then I offered to ink it because I thought that would get that this is just an inset or like it wasn't part of a page. But if you're inking it anyway, then why would I ink it?
Well, I don't know. You said you wanted to ink it.
I wanted to ink it so you could move on to working on your book. This is just something that's in the inside cover. I thought, oh man, a Dillard Mulroney exclusive.
Oh, I don't know. You should have told me that.
I believe this is inside the book, right, John? Panel, probably?
No,
it's the
this is
inside front cover.
It's the inside front cover.
Oh, okay.
Or the inside back cover. Or the back cover.
Yeah. Well, wait, didn't you already start working on something for the back cover, or did you toss it?
I thought. The one with both of his arms spread wide?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tossed that.
So why is he all bloody?
Because it's a cool image.
It's a reference.
Who's doing the color?
Probably me.
You're not going to hire Kyle Ritter or anyone?
No, I'm not.
What did Eagle
Probably
say?
can't afford Kyle.
What'd you ask?
I was actually just wondering how Eagle's doing. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Oh.
I haven't seen him around, but I saw that he tends to hang out in Rick's Discord.
Yeah. And he comes by here every once or twice a week, I think.
Well, he didn't answer
Especially
Rick
now
when I
that
was
I'm
asking
doing
how
it.
he was doing earlier.
Especially
Well,
when doing the night show.
There's a lot of people I hardly ever see ever since I left the Cult of Raven.
Wait, you left the Cult of Raven?
You didn't notice?
Why the hell am I still talking to you?
I don't know.
I'm disobeying a direct order from Joshua Hughes now. Shit.
Don't you do that every time you talk to Evan?
I've been praising Starfire right and left, man.
Well, that's even worse.
Oh, that's right. You're the simp guy. That's right. Okay.
That's right.
That's why I didn't realize.
Now you got it.
Hey Rick, I got one of your former employees has a bone to pick with me, and
One of my former employees.
yeah,
Is it Lorenzo Solista?
no,
Is it? Is it Brandon?
oh, remember Brandon? Where the hell did he go? Jesus, I haven't seen
He moved and then got off of YouTube.
Is he gotten off everything? Is he on Twitter?
I think so.
You think so? It's nice of you to keep
But-
up with your former employees.
I wouldn't consider him a former employee. Never paid any of these guys, so.
Was
You're
it-
talking
I
about
just like
Pope
to-
Raven. And what are you going to do about Pope Raven? You owe Pope Raven money, Rick.
Yeah. Well, Pope Raven has said he would do it for free. You know, he was doing it for free. You know,
Oh
I'm
my
saying,
God,
you know, I said I was going to give him money. You know, but you know, Indiegogos, the idiots that they are. I don't know.
Oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh my God, this is a nightmare.
What?
Yes, it is.
What is it?
Everything about this is a nightmare.
Rick, what are you going to do?
Well, right now, like I said, the thing that it looks like is all I can do is, well, I have one or two choices at this point. To keep trying to fight for who knows how long to get my money from Indiegogo. Although I have told them that at the end of July that I was going to be giving back all my backers their money. So if I don't, I look.
No, nobody cares about your threats, Rick. You need to keep trying to get the money.
But, you know, now I have the guy. Well, not that he hasn't ignored me before, but.
Wait, what? What's happening? They're not giving you your money?
Marsupio, shut up! Shut up!
I missed this whole thing.
In a nutshell, somehow there's banking problems, them putting the money into my account. They tried to give it to me, but it keeps getting rejected. Nobody knows for sure why.
Oh, that's-
And
Okay. I'm caught up. Okay. Sorry about that.
I was possibly thinking of giving back the backers their money and trying to get them directing them over to my website and getting it from there and paying through PayPal. And PayPal has a credit card thing that you can use without signing up for PayPal. So I was hoping everybody would just come right back. But that is a bit of a dream.
Yeah, that's not going to work, Rick. You need to get the money from Indiegogo. You need to keep trying. And you need to keep people just abreast of what's going on.
Yeah, most people don't care as long as you keep them updated and it looks like you're trying.
Yeah. You know, and it doesn't, I'm not, as long as I can show them I'm not running off with the money. You know, which is fairly easy. Just take screenshots every so often of.
You know, I already got hit up by Hawkins and who else? Church of Failure. They're already hitting me up saying, "Where's my buckler book?" And I was like, "Dude, it's not my campaign; it's Rick's campaign. But it's your book. Where is it?" Oh man.
John, you've been drinking, huh?
No, I'm not drinking.
Come on, you sound like you were drinking.
I don't even drink. What are you talking about?
He's
Maybe
drinking
I'll
that
have to go over to
Coca-Cola.
Church of Failure in the next couple nights and
John always sounds drunk to me.
say what's going on there to him. You know, I have people saying, get my money, put the money back. I have people saying, try and get it off them still. So it's It's hard to figure out what to do, what the right thing to do is.
I'm telling you what the right thing to do is. You're not listening.
And it's the right thing to do just because it's coming from you, right, John?
That's correct. Rick, when have I ever led you astray?
He hesitated. Oh, I wonder what the problem is.
I'll tell you, there's only one thing that's like a common thread between all these problems. I'll
Rick?
tell you what that one thing is. It's Rick Piper.
The thing is, too, Marsupial, this is, I had a different bank when it started,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't go in. I got another bank account. It didn't go in. I got a third bank account. Didn't go in. And, all the information that they've asked for me has been correct each and every time. So somehow it's my fault or my bank's fault. It's not their fault. Ulrich says, keep fighting for the money cross and make a big stink about it. Yeah, I might do the other thing I can do is do a expose on it here on my YouTube channel. Let everybody know. Even more so.
And what will
they've
that
been
do?
saying. No, I don't know what that will do, It's like, I'm not sure how much of a threat or big whatever it is for it.
It'll make
know.
him feel better, though.
Yeah, it might make me feel bad.
Have they responded to you at all and told you what the
Well,
problem is?
I've been dealing with a couple people over the last few months. Right, the latest guy's been Jason, but since last Thursday, I think it was, I asked for a phone number, and they haven't gotten back to me. He hasn't said a damn thing since last Wednesday. Usually, the only other time they ignore me is when they're trying to put money in my account and I'm saying something to them. They usually ignore me. And the thing is, they only will try and put the money in your account this one way, no other way.
So then why don't you just let someone else, add someone to the campaign, then have them add their information to it, let the money go to their account, and then they just hand it over to you? Why
Yes,
is this
I could
not
be
that
the-
simple? Yeah, but
Well,
we're going on.
I could try that, and it may work, it may not work. But there is the other thing what happens when I get my next campaign?
You go through
I
that
run
person
into
all
this-
the time. Until
Yeah,
you
but I
move
shouldn't
to
have
America.
to.
Well,
Pardon?
sorry. Move to America. That's where we do
Move
shit
to-
right. I can't help you.
Oh, is that the problem?
It says,
I think
they-
so. This is definitely a Canadian problem.
Hmm.
well, I know other Canadians that have gotten money off them, so. And they said, unfortunately, back in December, they ran out, wrong word, probably. They started a new way of giving people their money to disperse the money to people. So, of course,
We talked about this the other day, Rick. You have somebody that you can trust who will not
Yeah.
screw you and who has your back all the time. Use that person and you know what? Be happy that that they actually offered that. Just take them up on it. This is ridiculous.
Well, I could definitely ask Indiegogo whether they will allow that or not to be put in somebody else's bank account. Maybe they won't, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know that. I haven't asked.
Just
And then, like you say, go to that person, get their info, and fill it out. Get them to fill it out, or I don't know how it would work.
they could go in and fill it out themselves once
Yeah.
they're attached to your campaign.
Yeah, but I'm just not sure whether whether it would change over to the American bank account or whatever. Like I said, there's our whatever you want to call it, possible pitfalls. I don't know what, but then again, maybe they're not pitfalls at all. Maybe I'm just imagining problems where there's not going to be problems. But the first thing is to ask, and maybe I'll when we get off air here in 15 minutes or so, I'll put in a thing. Can I get a friend of mine in the States, to put it into their bank account if I put them on my campaign? It's a simple yes or no question, although with Indiegogo it probably won't be.
How many of your customers were from America anyway?
Oh, probably like 90% or more.
You know what? If you were smart, you'd have a conversation with the person. It might be cheaper to just fly here eventually and fulfill the campaign together, and see the money you'd save in shipping might just be enough for just a ticket, and you get to hang out with that person for a couple of days.
Actually, it'd probably be cheaper to just fulfill from here because
Okay.
I don't want to say my shipping costs, it's included and all that on there. But all the envelopes, I can go pick them up at a place that has shipping envelopes right here in my city, so there's no shipping costs on that. Get it sent to me. And then I know what my shipping costs are, sending out envelopes and all that from here and all that, with the basic weight that comic books would be. So there's not going to be any surprise that way. I don't know what
he's talking about for future campaigns after this one, and those are just slight logistic problems that could be easy to figure out. Like it could end up being cheaper in the future to do it the other way.
Well, yeah, in the future, yeah, maybe.
The future. Well, damn, this little air conditioner is cold. Yeah, I made one of those air conditioners out of a tote.
What do you mean, mate? What do you mean? Do we got dry ice and a fan? What are you talking about?
Just regular ice and a fan.
Really?
Yep.
Or said go public with it, get people's attention.
What's that going to do?
I already tried that for him.
Yeah.
We can't even see what. Are you drawing on that, John?
Yeah, why?
Because we can't see what you're doing.
Well, this is your show.
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me?
Because you're the only one doing anything at this point. Everybody else is talking, which is good.
Except me, I'm eating.
I could be eating. I feel like I'm missing out on that right now.
I was starving.
Missing out on eating?
Yeah. I've got a Philly cheesesteak waiting for me. Pop in the oven, heat back
What
up.
a fatty.
What kind of pen is that, John?
It's a Pigma Micron number 02. It's like I said before, this is what I do pretty much all my inking with, unless there's a big area. Then I use this one, which is a Pigma Graphic 3, which just has a chisel tip. And if it's too big, then I just get a brush and use this, use some ink, regular ink.
That's most of the same stuff I use.
Then how come my stuff looks so much worse than yours?
I don't know, man. Can't help you. Maybe it's the
Elric says-
artist, not the tool.
Unless the artist is the tool.
Yeah,
Rick, you don't need to be insulting me like that.
that was a good one though.
Yeah, Cross Comics
Elric-
After Dark, everyone.
Ulrich says he's been inking so much lately that he's been forgetting to eat sometimes.
Oh, I do that all the
And
time.
he,
Oh, I'm a big fat fatty. I never forget to eat.
and he says he uses the Micron 0.05 and the 0.1.
Why do you do that to
Thank you.
yourself?
Actually, technically, he said 0.0.5, but I think he forgot to put the decimal 1 over, so I correct.
I think you're the one that's bad at banking math, Rick, not Elric.
No, Elric's just bad at spelling.
Elric's not bad at spelling. It's just his autocorrect. Elric's a scholar and a gentleman.
Indeed.
I like the
can't even-
005 for hatching.
And Elric says, because I like him.
Shut up, Rick.
Is that how he said it?
See, yeah, Elric agrees too. Yes, I'm bad at spelling.
Yeah.
And why is he always blaming autocorrect?
Because it probably doesn't help.
He says, I just happened to spell correctly by accident. Yeah, and when he's actually spelling correctly, autocorrect chooses the wrong word for him.
Well, maybe it also sometimes chooses the right word. It's just like a coin toss.
Elric, when was the last time you did something, drew something public? Put it
Oh,
out there?
he's drawing up a manga right now for the
Oh, right.
Shogun Jump thing.
Yeah, the same one I'm working on.
Yeah, Marsupial, when was the last time you did something?
Shut up, John.
And he says, because autocorrect is like a double-edged sword.
So anyway, so the point of the buckler is to ride the line, ride that razor's edge between borderline homoerotic and sultry and very manly and masculine.
So like
Okay.
Apparently. So the closer you get apparently to being extremely homoerotic, but without crossing that line, the more people respond to the image.
Kind of like the opposite of the Uncanny Valley or something.
Sure.
Yeah, that's actually brought up that same point earlier, and John was just like, no.
Well, yeah, but that's exactly what it isn't. It's the opposite of the Uncanny Valley. You said it's like the Uncanny Valley.
I said it was similar.
No, it's the opposite.
It's,
So
but
is that
see, it's
why-
similar because it's. But
This
see,
is why I
it's
keep
similar
this is why
because
I
it's
keep
opposite.
Marsupial around, because he has tremendous insight into the human condition.
So is that why manga with very feminine looking men that are almost
He just called Spider-Man gay.
He did call Spider-Man gay earlier.
Spider-Man is super
Yeah.
gay.
Gay.
And if you like Spider-Man, you're probably gay too.
Or it says,
Nah,
I
he's
post
not
on
as gay as the
Twitter every.
Phantom is, though.
these male anime characters though have very delicate features, as you could say.
Or it says, I post on Twitter every now and then, morning drawings.
He poses on Twitter in his underwear.
Hey, if you get them likes.
There you go.
Why do I never see them? Am I not following already? Yes, I am. Twitter never shows me. It's weird. Twitter goes in like fits and starts. I'll see like one person's tweets like constantly for a couple of days, and then
Just like my Trans Am.
and then I won't see anything from them for months.
Twitter thinks I need to see all of Marsupial's posts.
Oh
Apparently,
Lord.
Every time I click on home, it's always the first thing is one of Marsupial's posts.
that's because I'm always on Twitter.
Yeah, you are. If only there was some way I could harness all that passion for being on Twitter and direct it at promoting the Buckler.
Well, you got to go live with it first.
You can sign up for the email list.
I did.
Alric says, posing, come on, Cross, at least read my accidental spelling correction.
You did say
Hey,
post. It wasn't.
I read post. It was somebody else that tried to autocorrect it for you.
I heard posing. I heard underwear. I'm just saying.
So
Todd, now I'm gonna have to question like your manliness, like I was with Dillard earlier, because he was reading homoeroticism into Spider-Man where nobody else was. Now you're reading homoeroticism into Elric. There might be a problem with the group I'm choosing to hang out with.
well, it's not me. Alric says, I mean correct. Stupid autocorrect.
Maybe Dillard's wife was right. Maybe it is gross how much time he chooses to spend with me.
I mean, I put out the link. Yeah, I'm not the one that clicks it every single time.
Dangling it along.
Oh, damn. This is going to be a dope-ass drawing.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, it is.
Okay, so we're like 2 minutes to. I guess we will go with metal. You want to promote anything?
That's the same thing I always promote. Just go over to xdynamuschaos.com and you can see pretty much everything I'm working on. Lots of free content for you to engage in.
Okay, Marsupial. Anything you want to promote?
Not really, just myself.
Okay,
Marsupial-
so then I guess where can they find you or whatever to promote yourself?
yeah, just Twitter and YouTube and Twitch and DLive, and maybe I'll stream again one of these days.
Damn, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and D-Live?
Yep, everywhere.
Where do you find the time?
No longer on Mixer though.
Is anyone?
You can
No,
no
good.
longer find Marsupial on a Mixer or Grinder.
That's correct.
Turning over a new leaf.
Okay, John, you want to promote anything?
Yeah, I want to promote the Rick, the Buckler. You don't know about the Buckler? Biggest goddamn
huh?
character. What? What?
Tell people. Promote that.
You know what? Never mind. I got nothing. Goodbye.
Okay, then I'll go to Todd so he can promote Florida Man.
No, I'm going to promote the Buckler. Go sign up from the sign up page. It's exclusively on Indiegogo. Drawn by John, the Gaming the System Dillard. And many other monikers that he uses. But no, really go sign up for it.
Okay, and go check out Florida Man as well. So yeah, thanks everybody on the panel for dropping by, making it a good night talking and drawing for those that did draw. And thanks everybody in the chat for dropping by as well, making it a good night. We'll be here back here tomorrow. Well, at least I will. Tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we'll catch you all later. Bye for now. God bless. Love you all.
God bless you, merry gentlemen. Let nothing